Angry about images. And that maybe sounds like a weird title to begin the video, but it's actually something that's happening in society all the time. And that's because we aren't aware of what's truly happening. So people are consuming information, but they aren't capable of understanding what happens after consuming the information. They do not understand what happens internally when you have a routine of consuming certain information. So let me explain. So a lot of people, they get, for example, angry in traffic, or angry at random small stuff on the television. And this is supposed to be an angry person. Maybe like this. Okay, angry. So the thing is that when you consume negative information, when you consume things that are going bad in this reality, if you consume things, the bad things, a war that happened in this reality, it does not have to be reality, okay? It's just images you allow to be put in your unconscious mind. You have already experienced like so many different bad things that happen in this reality, and in the end it was never within your reality. It was always on a television screen, okay? But the images on the television screen, the images on your phone, the images that, control the rules. The only reason we have rules in this reality is because the news says there are new rules again, okay? If you do not know the rules, they cannot make new rules, okay? So the rules only work because people are addicted to watching the news. That's the only reason we have so many rules. If you don't know the rules cannot control your mind, okay? So what's happening here? Why do you feel frustrated all the time? And I'm just giving an example of what's happening in the Netherlands, and that's one of the bigger reasons I'm not there, okay? So the television and the news and social media are attacking your mind. We are mentally being attacked, so you create negative emotions towards yourself and towards others, okay? My country, where I have been born in, the Netherlands, it's actually a great, prosperous country. It should be an amazing country to live in, okay? I was truly enjoying living there 15 years ago. And then everything changed. So what happened? We are strategically put on a low vibration, okay? And they do this with money problems, so we get stuck in the 40-hour work week, pressure, because there's no really any physical danger over there, not yet, okay? Now we let on purpose people from countries that have a very different values, we let them in the Netherlands on purpose. So it also becomes a dangerous place, okay? Because the elite can only control people if they are on a low vibration, in fear, and totally in the external world, not capable of being in their internal world. And only when there's fear in the external world, you cannot go back into your internal world, okay? You cannot take back control over your unique frequency, your unique thinking, and change this world in your own unique way. That's the whole reason why all these things are attacking us. They do not want us to take back our power. And that's why we are mentally attacked. That's why you're getting angry about images about the external world. It's a trick on your mind They say, oh, there's a war, so we should get ready for war. Okay? There is no war. There are only people sitting behind a computer making these stories up to create an effect on the masses, okay? And then they create the problem itself also to make sure that people keep listening to the news, okay? Because if they only create the story and not the negative effect in reality, then they don't believe the story anymore. So first they create the story to put us on a negative energy, and then they actually create a war on purpose to validate what's happening here, okay? So we are kept in this constant loop of being in a negative energy, and that's because you do not control your focus. You have a belief system that you have been absorbing from your parents, from the school system, from society, thinking, and this is one of the foundational problems in people's life, and it makes your life horrible. And if you fix this belief system, your life will become 10 times better. And I've been doing this from a very, very, very young age. I actually never watched the news in my life because I came to this earth and I was very I'm a very observant person, okay, from a young age already. So I always look before reacting. I gather info before it changes my actions, okay? And I never allow these external things to control my emotions, because if it's controlling my emotions, it influences my thinking. And I can only take the right actions if I observe things, people, without emotion, okay? So you have to observe everything without emotion, because this allows you to keep perceiving reality from your neocortex. That's the bigger part of your brain, okay? The moment you let these external images that create a negative effect within your body, you get back into the reptilian brain, and that's like a small part of your brain, okay? It stops you from thinking logical, it stops you from thinking long term, it stops you from seeing the bigger picture, what's truly happening. Why? Because you are accessing only a lower part of brain connections in your brain. And this is very useful if you are truly in danger, okay? If you're truly in danger, you have to stop being a monk, you have to stop being big picture thinking. No, you have to get yourself in safety. That's the whole reason, and that's why the human race is alive, because our ancestors had this set up as a way of protecting their life, okay? But now in this society where our brain is artificially influenced, they use this defense mechanism, our reptilian brain, against us, okay? That's the whole reason corn is so, widely available, to keep us back in our reptilian brain. That's why there's always problems on the news to get us back in our reptilian brain, okay? All these things that they are attacking us with is our human system that kept us alive in the past but is now working against us. So from a young age, I was very observant, okay? And I was looking at my parents and other people that were watching the news. And I watched the television, and I just observed the television, and just the images on the television, but not the story, okay? Just the images, just the television itself. And then I look at my parents and other people just looking as a zombie, okay? No conscious thinking at all, just a zombie staring at the thing. And then after hearing this story, telling me, oh, this happened on the television. And I was thinking, why do you tell me this? Okay? Because I understand you've seen this on the television, but why are you telling me this? And also they told it with a certain emotion. Hey, so did you see this happen in the world? And then I'm observing it without any emotions. And what I started to realize after, I'm very good at seeing repetition. I can understand something when I'm seeing things over and over. I can read, okay, this is happening, and then I'm predicting the future based on the things that happening in the past. And I could see that every time there was a story being told to me about what happened on the television, it was always from a negative energy. Always. Always. 90%. Or there was a new rule that made you feel bad, or there was a war, or whatever. Or taxes go up, or things becoming more expensive, or whatever. Always energy that makes you feel less freedom, and scared, frustrated. And because I always could perceive things from a neocortex perspective, because I didn't allow my unconscious brain to absorb it as reality, because at some point I didn't see it as reality anymore. Every time there's a new rule created, every time there's something new created, I just see it as magic. Every energy that comes from this television is just magic trying to give me a bad feeling. And that's how you should start perceiving it also. And then you're like, Tim, okay, so you're saying to me I should observe everything rational, and I should not let it influence my energy. I should not influence my perspective. Yes. But then you will get this question of saying, hey, listen, if I don't know these new rules, maybe I will break these rules, okay? And then I will have problems. This is a legit point, okay? From your perspective. Then you have people who are saying, yeah, but I need to know what's happening in the world, because if I'm having a conversation with someone, I need to be capable of communicating with other people and knowing what's happening in the world, or else I look stupid. That's the main reason for most people why they watch the news, because they don't want to look stupid while talking to other people who are also actually pretty stupid, because they are listening to information that's not bringing any benefits in their life. Okay, so what's happening here? It's actually when you are still stuck in a belief system where you need social validation, there's a high chance you get stuck in watching the news, because deep inside they are scared to look stupid in front of their friends. Deep inside they are afraid to look stupid to the people who they communicate with, and they just want to be up to date. They want to know what's happening in the world. Okay, they want to look smart, because deep inside they don't feel smart. Deep inside they don't feel enough. Okay, it's all about these limited beliefs, these limited self-images that we've created about ourselves, and that's all because we were forced in the school system, in the money system, in these systems that didn't allow us to gain access to our true power, to our authentic self, to our unique thinking, to feel good in our own energy. And therefore we think we need more information, we need all these things to stay updated, to be a better version of ourselves. Okay, and what's actually happening here, more information is not always better, because information is just images, okay? Images, ways of looking at reality, okay? And if you get negative images in your mind, you feel bad. So, for example, when you hear the prices are going up, instead of, most people are feeling bad, they get emotionally involved, and then they start to talk about it with other people, and then it's all the prices going up, everything's getting more expensive, and it's actually an illusion on your mind to just put you on a low frequency, okay? And then you would say, okay, yeah, but Tim, I go to the store and the prices are really up. And I would say, yes, that's true, But let me tell you what's really happening, because you are in an illusion right now. What's really happening, the government is stealing from you, and that's the true reality. Stealing. And then you say, how is the government stealing from me? They are inflating the money supply, okay? So if you have money and there's a certain amount and you make twice as much money of that, okay, then the current amount of money is half what it was worth, okay? So if the current money supply is half what it is worth, all the items has to be twice as expensive, okay? And the price is still the same, but the buying power is half. And you think the prices are going up, but it's actually the government who is stealing from you. And that's true reality. But you cannot see this. You are not capable of perceiving this because you live in a fake reality based on images that are programmed into you, and therefore you aren't capable of perceiving true reality. And the biggest problem here is you are artificially being put on a low frequency. You are living in a hell right now, okay? You think that if you don't, for the religious people, you think if you don't behave in this world, then you get in hell. No, you are in hell right now if you watch the news every day. This is like the worst place ever if you do not control your mind, okay? And you have to start perceiving reality for what it truly is. This reality is not fair, okay? You have people on top who have power, okay? And you have people on the bottom who are slaves. Slaves with a nice car, a nice house, with all these things. But mentally, they are worse off than a slave, okay? Because they are not in control of their time and routine and awareness, okay? So on the outside, in the outside world, they are successful. They have a big house, they have a car. But internally, if your third eye was open, you could see their energy field. You would see stress, frustration, pain, incapable of processing their emotions, not possible of healing from their past trauma, because they've only learned from society to use alcohol or cigarettes to medicate, okay? That's like the substances you definitely should not use if you want to heal from trauma, okay? You should use many different other stuff, plants from nature, that are here to help you evolve from your trauma. Trauma is not a bad thing, okay? You experience trauma to evolve in the next version of yourself, okay? But if you aren't capable of breaking free from the slave frequency, and the slave frequency is just low awareness, okay? Awareness. These people are in control by the images, by the people in power. And these people are in power because they control your focus. And when they control your focus, they control your brain connections, okay? And when they control your brain connections, they control what you think, the rules, what's normal, the amount of time you have to work, all these things. You are a slave, a mental slave, to the vibration that's in control by others. If you're working 40 hours a week, you are a slave to the system, okay? And then you will say, Tim, yeah, but I have to provide for my family, I have to pay rent, I have to do all these things. And I say, yes, that's totally true. That's totally true. You have a problem. That's the situation. And problems are here to be fixed. You are way smarter than they made you believe, okay? So instead of telling me all the reasons right now why you're doing what you're doing, come up with all the new ways how you could change it. Because your brain you can use your brain in many different ways. And right now, people have been learned to always play the victim, okay? victim role. You only get angry about stuff, and let's make this clear. You only get angry about all these images from the external world, which are not even reality, which is just magic on your mind to make you feel bad about the things happening on the news and that kind of stuff. All these things, I'm gonna tell you what's deep down happening, okay? The reason you get angry about these things externally is deep down. You think you are not enough. You think you aren't smart enough to fix this world in your own unique way. So what do? You use your brain to come up with reasons why you're doing what you're doing, okay? Instead of coming up with ideas how to fix it. And let me tell you why you have this belief. You have this belief because you have never had the chance to be in nature for a long period, so the quality of your thoughts became better and your thoughts could change reality in your own unique way. You had never had the chance to be in your own unique frequency, perspective, without being influenced. You never had the chance of consuming the right plants from nature because you've been made scared about them, and therefore you use alcohol and cigarettes to medicate, okay? These things, your whole life, you've been stuck in a vibration that lowers the ability to evolve to your full potential. And therefore, your unconscious self-image is in a victim mentality. And because you're in this victim mentality, you hand over your power to the people in power. The only reason these people are in power is because people do not control their self-image. They do not know their true power. They do not know they are here a soul on a soul mission, and the only reason they are going to a job they dislike, they're living a life that's not their own, the only reason these things are happening is because they have not unlocked their full potential. They aren't capable of accessing all the brain connections in their neocortex, and therefore their perspective is influenced by the energy of the environment, and therefore they take actions and have thoughts that are negative, and people get angry at each other. It's because they do not control their own emotions. They let the external world control their emotions, and the only reason is because their third eye is closed. They aren't capable of understanding that the vibrations that coming at you are negative vibrations. They aren't capable of perceiving it, okay? They just get the vibrations, they hear it or they see it, and then they create an image in their brain, and then they act according to the image, which is 90% negative in this reality, okay? And once you start to understand that the images that come at you, they don't have to be considered truth. It's just vibration, it's just energy. It's just like a dog barking at you and getting angry at the dog for barking at you. That's what people are doing in society. When people in traffic, for example, people get angry at each other. Oh, you drive, blah, 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 blah. And then the other person also gets angry. What's happening here? One person is on a low consciousness. They are having absorbed the negative energy in the morning from the news, from their family, because they're living in an artificial world where you have to have a fast speed of living. Deep inside, they're not happy with their life. Then they are absorbing the news, negative energy. They are not aware of absorbing all this negative energy. Then they are driving, something small happens, and then they release all this energy towards a thing where they think that the thing externally is triggering the negative emotion, but that's not true. You are already carrying all this negative energy unconsciously, and you just find something in the external world as an excuse to release your negative energy. But the negative thing was not the external thing. It was already absorbed internally. You are a negative energy right now. And if something happens in the external world, you blame the external world for the negative thing that's happening, but it's actually you. You've absorbed all these negative images. You've absorbed all these negative thoughts communication, images, and now you're just using the external world as an excuse for releasing this negative energy. And what's the problem here? You don't have an effective way of healing your inner problems, okay? You are a ball of trauma. And this ball of trauma produces all kinds of disease in your body if you don't fix it, okay? But because you're so brainwashed, you are blaming the external world for how you are feeling. The external world is not the problem. The external world is just a dog barking at you for being a dog, okay? The external world is just people who have not cured their inner broken child. They haven't cured their childhood trauma. They haven't cured their belief systems. And now you get angry at other people who are giving you a negative energy, who are getting angry at you, but who are just projecting their past trauma they aren't capable of solving onto you. And then you get angry at them for them projecting onto you, which is not even personal. They don't even perceive reality. The brain connections they're making are fully from their own negative energy, from their own negative trauma. It's just trauma-based reactiveness. It's the same as a dog comes at you and it bites you. It only bites you because it's scared of you, okay? Because he has probably been kicked by another human in the past, and now he's projecting that onto you. And that's exactly the same what other people are doing in this reality. They are constantly projecting past trauma, past images they are absorbing, okay, onto other people, and they keep themselves stuck in this, because only when you start using the right plants from nature, you start to raise, okay? You start to remove, you start to understand, oh wait, I have to protect my energy from negative people, okay? I'm not gonna absorb. What you should do when you are communicating with so first of all, you always should create a safe space, okay? A place where your default mode, you should always create a reality and a situation for yourself where you are protecting yourself from the negative images. So you don't watch the news. You create a situation where you work from home, so you don't have to mix with people who are absorbing negative energy and giving it to you. Okay, if you are having a routine where you are not protected from this negative energy, you will always be a slave. Okay, so the only way how to break free is work online or don't work at all. Okay, go be in nature. Make it a daily routine to be in nature. Go travel. Go to different countries where you don't understand people. Okay, and understand that. If you understand the movie The Matrix, they are walking on the street and then the woman with the white dress comes and Morpheus says, hey, listen, all these people you see walking here, they are the enemy. Why are they the enemy? Because they are projecting and sharing their belief system that keeps you stuck in the matrix, okay? So they are the enemy, not because they are bad people. They are the enemy because they are not in control over their self-image and the belief system. And you are absorbing these images that control your perspective and your actions. That's why they are the enemy. So you have to be in nature. You have to start being alone, because it's amazing to be alone. You are totally in control over your own belief system. You are totally in control over how you feel about life. You should be more nature, travel, and create a safe bubble. Understanding that the only thing that keeps you from living a horrible life is not the external world. Okay? The external world is just the way it is. It's you not being in control over your routine, your perspective, and being capable of protecting your energy, protecting your belief system, protecting your aura, protecting your focus. Because if you protect all these things, you don't go to a job that forces you to mix people that aren't in control over their belief system. If you do not protect You focus on the daily meal. You stop watching the news. You stop watching people who haven't been evolving their values. Who have like you stop being absorbing belief systems from people who are in this low level of consciousness. The moment you start doing this, you will get in this positive loop, and you will get back to your soul, and you will start to make brain connections on a soul level, and you start to understand what the real reason is you are here on earth. And then you start to realize, oh wait, everyone is just born in a brainwashed system, and everyone is just operating from trauma, and we are constantly bombarded with negative images which keep us in this trauma, and which keeps us in this slave frequency, which keeps us listening to the rules that are controlled by a few. Okay, and these few are just master over their inner world. They don't master their values, and therefore they keep the system the way it is because they don't care about us. We are just tools in the system, and that's how the things go. Okay, and that's all because these slave frequency people energy are not in control over their own images in their brain. They keep absorbing negative images, then projecting it onto other people, and they keep everyone in this slave frequency. You have to go within, protect your energy, control your imagination, control your belief system, evolve yourself to your full potential, and start creating routines, start taking action, start absorbing belief systems from successful people, and start rejecting belief systems from people in the slave frequency. Okay, you can listen to someone, you can be nice to someone, but you don't have to absorb their beliefs. Okay, and even if you absorb beliefs, you go back in nature and you release them again, and you find yourself again. This life is constantly absorbing and integrating, absorbing and integrating. And what you want to do is stop absorbing energy from stupid people and start absorbing energy from successful people. And then you absorb energy from successful people, which are also not perfect, but you get way more valuable lessons. Okay, so what you do, you absorb from successful people, and then you go back in nature and you remove the bad belief systems and you integrate the good ones. Okay, and then you start taking actions from your own unique energy. And that's how true reality is. You attract, absorb, and then integrate. Attract, absorb, integrate. Attract, absorb, integrate. Protect your mind against stupid people, and then attract smart people, absorb, integrate. Protect from stupid people, attract smart people, attract, absorb, integrate. Okay? And you will integrate good belief systems and bad belief systems. You remove the bad belief systems and you take action from the good belief systems. Okay, and then, oh, stupid people again, haha, nice, smile, okay, bye, I have to go again. Okay, that's how you should operate in this reality. So yeah, I hope this video helped you out. Make sure to like, subscribe, put in the comments if you want me to talk about anything. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you need any help getting back in your own unique energy, everything you need, link below this video. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Have a great day.